Well, I'm finally back after another month and a half, give or take. Sorry about that last little comment in the last video. I was like, yeah, you guys got another Rob Zombie review coming within the next couple of days. Yeah, I know I probably sound goofy as fuck saying that, considering the fact that it's been a whole entire month. But as you can tell by the title of the video, not only am I going to review that Rob Zombie movie I was talking about that I have on Blu-ray, but you guys are getting a special treat tonight. I'm gonna do a double feature of two really, really good movies. And funny enough, um, this one is actually my second favorite movie by Rob Zombie, and this is actually my second favorite movie by Quentin Tarantino. So I'm kind of doing a double feature, my favorite second movie of both of my favorite directors. So I figured it'd be kind of fitting. Not only that, but I kind of just picked this one up here recently. I've been watching this one a lot here recently, and whenever I said I was gonna review this one, I've been watching that one a lot recently, and the real reason why I even wanted to show off this Blu-ray, I mean, it looks cool, don't get me wrong, but I actually watched the entire thing, the special features, I watched the movie itself, just everything that's on it. I pretty much went and investigated it. So yeah, I'm not gonna do full-on reviews or anything. I'm kind of just gonna show them off and show off the artwork. This time I probably will read the backdrop or whatever. Uh, just because since I'm not giving a full review. And I'll be sure to tell you guys about my favorite scenes. This is one of those types of YouTube channels. I've been thinking about this today. I don't know if I've said something opposite in the past. I can't remember, but this is gonna be one of those types of YouTube channels. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do a spoiler free review or review full of spoilers. Now, if the movie just came out, whatever, I'll sit there and say what I liked about it without spoiling it, whatever, whatever. Eventually, I'll do a spoiler free review. But if it's a movie that's already been out, at least on DVD, if not in the theater, at least on DVD, I'm spoiling the hell out of it. If you guys haven't seen it, this movie, you're about 7 to 8 years too late. This movie, you're about 4 to 5 years too late. So, tough shit. Get the hell over it. Nah, I'm just pulling your jam. But on some real shit, I mean, they're older movies. I mean, if you're afraid of, or if you're upset about spoilers, now is the time to click off this video now, because I'm probably about to give a good amount of them. So, starting off, we have 31. This is actually a really cool case. I was kind of stuck between this one. I got this one back a couple months ago in October. I was stuck between this one, Scream 4. I ended up going with this one in the second Halloween out of the requel series. Video for another time. Very, 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 and I do mean very hot take. Now, was it a great movie? That's really just it. It all depends on perspective, I guess. But I actually really liked Halloween Ends. That's one more I need to get. I'm getting off topic. It's a video for another day, but just wanted to let it be known. I don't think any of those Halloween movies are bad, and I actually do like Halloween Ends. So crucify me in the comments, shoot me. I don't give a damn. That's a good movie. But anyway, enough talking about the Halloween movies. We're here to talk about 31 Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, yeah, like I said, I was stuck between this one and Scream 4 and Blue. I ended up getting this one, Halloween Kills. This one, I'd noticed this one about a week or two before I ended up getting it, just because the case was definitely, it was definitely intriguing. This is probably my favorite part about this case. You can tell it's got kind of a fluorescent glow, if I'm using the right word there. Uh, the case itself looks really cool, but you got these colors that kind of light up a little bit, and not only that, but the actual artwork is really cool too. Like that's a picture from the movie of Richard Brake, but it's meant to look like it's painted. I don't know if that was a filter or someone actually painted it. There was a lot of pictures way back in the day. This takes place in the 70s. That's why I even bring that up. But back in like this, 60s, 70s, 80s, I feel like a lot of pictures like that were snapshots got painted. So could this have been painted? Maybe. Could it just be a filter? Maybe. I guess we'll never know. That's actually really cool. Yeah, I don't know if it picks up on film, but that actually looks quite nice. My case is kind of worn from at least a little bit because I've brought it with me a couple different places. Uh, this ain't my number one favorite Blu-ray I own. This definitely comes close to it though. Like this is actually a really cool Blu-ray. 31 is brutal and uncompromised. Rob Zombie returns to his roots. Uh, yeah, I was gonna say that's another reason I bought this up, or I bought this, is because I owned it on DVD a couple years back. I just I lost it. Long story, but I had to pick it up again. Eventually, I was going to because I went a couple years without watching it. I thought it was a bad movie, and is it a perfect movie? Hell no. I'll agree with everyone else. I just because I'm a Rob Zombie super fan doesn't mean I'm ignorant. I am aware that it's not a super duper well made movie. However, it's also a super duper fun movie, and it gets pretty creepy at certain parts. I don't know if it's necessarily scary creepy or just creepy because it's violent. Like, oh shit, that could actually happen. But no, it's definitely violent. No, I know it's got that lower budget movie feel. It definitely wasn't a higher budget movie. But to say it was a bad movie would be, at least in ways, kind of dumb. Maybe when it first came out, whatever, but it's definitely aged pretty decently. I think, me personally, I think it's aged good, but a lot of people will say it hasn't aged good at all. I think it's at least aged decently. Uh, but this back this back cover artwork is actually really cool too. I got a picture of Sherry Moon Zombie, Meg Foster, Jeff Daniel Phillips, Lou Temple. Got what was his fucking name? Panda. That was his name in the movie. And then you got E.G. Daily, of course. She was actually pretty cool in that one. It was mainly just whenever she was in that getup, like that little costume and her hair dyed. Of course, you got Kevin Jackson, Malcolm McDowell. Uh, Read Up says on Halloween, 5 carnival employees are kidnapped and held hostage in an isolated compound known as Murder World. They are thrown into a sadistic game called 31, where they must survive 12 hours against a gang of maniacs dressed like clowns. However, the clowns aren't the only ones they need to worry about, as the grand scheme of satanic rituals and much more sadistic plot awakens. Special features. I've actually watched all these special features too. Got a In Hell an In Hell Everybody Loves Popcorn, the making of 31. Comprehensive 2-hour documentary on the making of the film. That was actually really interesting. And of course, you got an audio commentary track with writer director Rob Zombie. The movie is rated R for strong. Sorry, I can't pick that up. Movies rated R for strong, bloody, horror, violence, persuasive language, sexual content, and drug use. Let me go ahead and get this cover off. This is basically the same as just like the regular Blu-ray release. It is, but what I was really meant to say is like this actual artwork is no different from the back cover artwork from the slipcover. It's just like I said, it's the original Blu-ray. Just has a really cool slipcover, or the original Blu-ray release. Back artwork looks really cool as well. Either way, when I first saw like the DVD, the Blu-ray, I've always thought that this original cover looks really cool as well. You got a couple added characters on this. What wasn't on the back of the artwork on the slipcover. Of course, you got a picture of Doomhead. Richard Brake as Doomhead was definitely my favorite character. I'm sure that's the case with a lot of people, but of course, you got Sickhead. I can't remember that actor's name. Of course, you got I knew that. I think it's David. I know I'm going to say his last name wrong. David Ure. I think Ure. He was a pretty cool character. He was what was it? I think it was like Schizo Head, because Lou Temple was Psycho Head, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, you got a nice picture of the Blu-ray. This digital copy that I'm not going to show any of you, even though I already have it on my phone. Of course, the Blu-ray, no scratches, hopefully. Well, a little bit of smudges. I've watched it a couple times, but nothing too dramatic. My favorite parts on this one, like I said, I've always loved Richard Brake as Doomhead. Even when I first saw it, whenever I just didn't love the movie, I still at least liked him. I knew that they filmed his parts really well. This movie, I kind of have the same perspective on this as I do with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. It's a really, really good movie. I'm not saying well made. I'm just saying a fun, entertaining blast that does have a lot of problems from it being an actually good movie with people. I'm sure everyone else could agree, at least if they're open-minded enough. But to say it's a bad movie, again, that would just be kind of... I try to be as nice as I can, but there's really not a nice way of putting it. It would be kind of dumb to say it's just a straight-up bad movie. I don't know. I know opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Whatever way, you can't mix their own flavors. Quote Sid Haig there. Rest in peace. But yeah, it's just... I don't understand how people can just straight up say this is a piece of garbage film. I mean, mind you, I know Rob Zombie did the Halloween movies. Those weren't loved by everyone, even though I fucking adore them. But I'm not even just saying because I'm a super fan. Before I got into Rob Zombie, I liked him, so kiss my ass. But I'm just playing. But yeah, like I said, my favorite parts, I like the beginning whenever Richard Brake has that whole entire long monologue speech where you can't tell if he's breaking the fourth wall talking to the camera or if he's about to kill a victim. And you end up finding out he's about to kill a victim, but that was really well executed. I like the part whenever you got Schizo Head and Psycho Head. That whole entire fight was pretty interesting. Was it well shot? No. Even when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it looks kind of rough from how fucking shaky it was. But it was definitely a lot of fun. I really really loved Jeff Daniel Phillips during that scene. He was hilarious. I don't know if it was purposely played up for laughs, like whenever he's sitting there and accusing the girl that's held captive of being the reason why they're stuck in that little cage room. But I don't know. Just how he says it was always really funny, where he's like cussing at her and shit. And then I also like the part whenever the main victims of the whole entire thing think they're or see that they're eating their friend. That was always really creepy in my opinion. And I always liked whenever Doomhead gets called in after fucking Ginger Lynn's character. Some of the dialogue between them was really funny. And then of course after he arrives at the abandoned factory or wherever they work at, I can't remember specifically what it was, but he arrives there. He ends up having this whole entire Martin Scorsese thing in the mirror. Rob Zombie's done that a couple times. I feel like, or at least once with Sheriff Whitehall. But he's all talking in the mirror. I'm not crazy. I'm in control. I'm not crazy. I'm in control. Just repeating it over and over again, hitting himself in the face really fucking hard. And before he does that, he paints his face. That was definitely a really neat part. And definitely the ending, whenever Sherry Moon Zombie stumbles into the abandoned house and notices the verbatim carnival like weird puppet show type deal going on that she noticed at the beginning. Richard Brake punches her in the face, has this whole entire monologue thing, and it's a classic case of the villain talks too much, so he never gets a chance to actually kill the final girl. That was definitely well made because once the little voice comes in the intercom saying weapons down, the game is over, and he's all like motherfucker, like he's like all mad. It's just comedy gold. That's one thing my friend did kind of point out to me too. I forgot to mention this movie is kind of like if Rob Zombie directed a more fucked up like a horror slasher version of the Hunger Games. I could definitely see that, especially with all the Rob Zombie-esque dialogue and all the violence and whatnot. But yeah, that's 31. I just wanted to kind of show that one off. This video is already getting kind of lengthy. Unfortunately, I'm having to record with my phone. Eventually, you guys will get a nice high quality camera and I can make longer videos hopefully. But better kind of hurry along and move on. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood before this video ends randomly on me. But yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Can't remember if I said this on this channel. I'm pretty sure I have because my first couple videos were Quentin Tarantino movies. But Quentin Tarantino actually is my favorite director. Rob Zombie is my favorite artist. He's my second favorite director of all time, and he's my favorite horror director. I have to make it a point to say because I've been obsessed with Rob Zombie since I was like 5 because of House of Thousand Corpses. But I ended up finding out here recently through discovering, watching all his movies. Quentin Tarantino actually is my favorite director. He's actually from Tennessee. He was raised in LA and Tennessee, and he's been obsessed with Hollywood just like me. We just have a couple of things in common. I'm obsessed with movies. I feel like I'm kind of like the socially awkward movie buff of of my generation. No one else my generation cares about movies nearly as much as I do, I feel like, but whatever. But yeah, that's why he's my favorite director. I actually really really love this cover art too. This video is getting kind of lengthy. I won't go through all these guys. I'll point out the main ones. Of course, you got a picture of Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie. She did a damn good job of Sharon Tate. If you look closer down there, got a nice little picture of Al Pacino. Another picture of Brad Pitt beside him. Another picture of Margot Robbie. Got Kurt Russell down there. There's even Bruce Lee down there. Oh yeah, I like the little inclusion of the hippie girl as well. Yeah, there we go. See a little better. Got the back cover art. It's a nice little picture of Leo and Brad. It's Leo's character's name. Rick Dalton, of course, he's the main character. Same with his buddy slash stuntman Cliff Booth. Uh, See it once, see it twice, then see it again. Peter Travers, Rolling Stone. Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood visits 1969 Los Angeles, where everything is changing as a TV star Rick Dalton, Leonardo DiCaprio, and his longtime stunt double Cliff Booth, Brad Pitt, make their way around an industry that hardly recognizes them anymore. The ninth film from the writer slash director features a large ensemble cast and multiple storylines and a tribute to final moments of Hollywood's golden age. And yes, I definitely agree. This movie quite literally feels like I agree with Chris Stuckman whenever this movie first came out and he reviewed it. This movie quite literally feels like Quentin Tarantino traveled in a time machine, went back to 1969, and just shot a movie. It does not feel like it was shot in like 2016, 2017, 2018, whenever the hell it was shot. It was released in 2019. So it takes roughly about a couple years to make a good movie like that. But yeah, special features. I've watched all these special features, but there's not really that many. There's 7 additional scenes, but they were all really good. Of course, what does that say? Yeah, rated R, language throughout, some strong graphic violence, drug use, and sexual references. Yep. And I already read it. I already showed the picture of the cast. It's the cast right there, of course. Ninth film by Quentin Tarantino. And hold on, let me open it up. Nothing really crazy exciting in here. The disc does look really cool though, for sure. Especially since I'm a Tarantino director. Of course. Actually, no scratches on this bad boy because I just got this like 2 weeks ago or something. But yeah, my favorite parts in this one, I would have to say, definitely the whole entire opening. The entire movie is great. Don't get me wrong. I could do a whole entire video of why every single frame of the movie is amazing. But no, the whole entire opening with Leonardo DiCaprio's character and Al Pacino's character talking, that was really good. Whenever Al Pacino was talking about having the Rick Dalton double feature. The whole entire little sections with Margot Robbie watching the movie that Sharon Tate was in. Of course, that's her character. That whole entire section was well made, really, really well made. And the short little 2 seconds it actually does show Charles Manson. It verbatim does look just like Charles Manson, so that was really cool. I liked how they even had his little walk down, and they had his voice, they had his little awkwardness. You can tell something was off about dude. This has a really good cast too, by the way. The dude that was talking to the character, the guy that played Charles Manson, that's main guy from The Girl Next Door, the comedy, not the horror movie. But I was surprised to see him. He's in it. Timothy Olyphant, speaking of Girl Next Door, he's even in it. Speaking of Timothy Olyphant, because of Dreamcatcher, even fucking Damian Lewis is in it. So it's got a good cast. Apparently, it's even got the guy that played the first Spider-Man and like the old 70s TV show Quentin Tarantino was a huge fan of, which I can understand. That was his childhood. The guy that got to play Bruce Lee looked damn near just like Bruce Lee. And back to the parts I liked. I also really liked whenever Cliff Booth, Brad Pitt's character, ends up visiting Spawn Ranch. That was really interesting just because it did kind of take a little bit of like a horror movie feel. That was a nice little parallel between the characters too. Leo's character is getting into fake danger, acting like he's a bad guy on a TV show. I can't remember if it's a TV show or a movie. It's one of the two. I'm pretty sure it's a TV show. But Brad Pitt's character is getting into real danger, visiting Spawn Ranch to go visit an old friend when at any moment he could fucking die. Quentin Tarantino even says that in an interview. And it's definitely the nice little. That's another thing I loved about this movie. The nice little parallels between the two main characters. I mean, they're friends, yeah, but in reality, he's his old stuntman. Brad Pitt is Leo's old stuntman. And what he does, he basically cleans up after him. He cleans up his house. He fixes shit around his house. Drives into work because Leo wrecked his car drunk driving. And boys aspire to be someone like Brad Pitt. Girls want to be with someone like Brad Pitt. And he's just a little unknown stuntman. He fought in World War II. He's a war hero. But he doesn't care about having a big ego. He just cares about being a good friend and a nice dude. I dug that. Meanwhile, Leonardo DiCaprio gets everything he wants. He has a best friend who can help take care of him. he has an amazing movie career. He's a starring role in a bunch of really cool TV shows, movies. Uh, and But at the same time, he struggles with self-esteem issues. He also has really bad, bipolar issues. He's an alcoholic. Uh, and they end up having a good old happy ending, and he ends up coming to terms with his alcohol use. I mean, he's still drinking at the end, but you know what I mean. It's not like it's one of those types of movies where like it's supposed to be a drama. It's supposed to be focusing where like something changes. I mean, they change the course of history, but you know what I mean. The whole point of the movie really is that these two friends, no matter how different they are, can still have their each other's backs and still be great enough friends to change the course of history. What I'm about to get to by saying change the course of history, another one of my favorite parts, the whole entire big ending where Charlie Manson's followers end up going to try to kill Sharon Tate. They end up just saying we gotta just kill anyone in this neighborhood, but they end up knocking on, or they end up busting down the door of Leo's house. They end up breaking into his house instead. But either way, Brad Pitt ends up basically him and his dog. That was another nice little dynamic with his dog. Any part with him and his dog was definitely really nice. They both end up killing two of the followers. Brad Pitt ends up really fucking up one of the followers with it because he calls the dog and the girl and ends up killing her or whatever. Leonardo DiCaprio is actually one ends up killing her. That's I can't remember her name in real life. It's Amber on Scream 5. She was really cool on that. Uma Thurman's daughter makes an appearance in there. She's the one that ditches the other followers because she's one of the followers towards the end. She's like, oh, I forgot my knife in the car. Grabs the keys. Instead of just opening the door and grabbing her knife, she ends up leaving him there. So they're just like, fuck it, we just do what we came here to do and then leave. And they end up leaving, but definitely not back to their house. They definitely end up leaving this earth. That was even a funny little line that Leonardo DiCaprio's character mentions at the end. His neighbor, Jay Seabreeze, that's oh boy, the girl from Girl Next Door, that's his character's name. He's like, what the hell happened? And is everyone okay? And Leonardo DiCaprio's character is even like, well, the fucking hippies aren't. That's for damn sure. But yeah, all that was really great. The humor in this movie was really good too. I liked how that one 18-year-old girl was trying to, fuck around with Brad Pitt sexually, and he was like, I'm too old to go to jail for poontang. He said, prison tried to get me all my life. Day it does, won't be because of you. That all that shit was really good. So yeah, in all, guys, that's really the main reason why this is my second favorite Tarantino movie. For the longest time, it was Hateful Eight, and it's like a razor, and I do mean razor thin line between the first three. My first favorite's Kill Bill, of course, and then my second favorite's that one, of course, and my third favorite's Hateful Eight, and so on and so forth. But like I said, it's a super duper razor thin line between the first three. Let me know if you guys ever do, just comment down in the comment section if you guys ever do want to see me do a video of my top or ranking all of Tarantino's movies, my least favorite to my most favorite to my least favorite. Pardon me, that's what I meant to say. Or if you guys want me to do a Rob Zombie ranking video of all of his movies, my most favorite to my least. Because both of these directors, I like all their movies. Quentin Tarantino, for the most part, I like all his movies equally, except for Jackie Brown. That one definitely wasn't bad, but definitely my least favorite crime movie and my least favorite Tarantino movie. Definitely not something I could see myself watching again. But all of Rob Zombie's movies I like for the most part. The Munsters, mind you, yeah, I had to turn my brain off to enjoy it, but it was a fine watch. I have to say that one is probably close to being my least favorite. Either that one or Lords of Salem, I don't know. But yeah, let me know if you guys would like to see a video like that in the future. Again, sorry about the whole entire month and a half long waiting period. I know it's no excuse, but I'm busy with my own shit, I guess. But I figured since you guys have been so awesome and so patient with me, figure I'd just go ahead and spoil you guys with a little double feature of showing off both of these DVDs, especially considering the fact that I can't even make this shit up. This is literally my second favorite Rob Zombie movie, and this is my second favorite Tarantino movie, so, and I do love Devil's Rejects, don't get me wrong. Devil's Rejects is my second favorite movie of all time. Used to be 8 Mile, but I changed after a while. But we're just talking Rob Zombie movies, this is my second favorite. And same with Tarantino, like, I would just say, oh, Kill Bill Volume 2 is my second, but I'm like Tarantino. I consider Kill Bill to be its full movie. So yeah, guys, let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future. And this has been Gage Dinkins once again signing off. As always, like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.